Hello there, dear one. This is Katrina. So delighted that you are here for yet another daily dose of vitamin K. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about why goals can fail, why certain goals, when we set goals, why they can just completely fall flat. This is not the only thing, but oh my goodness, it is a big thing. You know why? It's because setting kind of these goals that are kind of, I don't know what to call them, but like I want to lose weight, or I want to go to the gym, or I want to start eating healthier. Yeah, kind of good in theory, but they're just going to fall flat in a few days, few weeks, and definitely a few months, because it's inevitable that there's just not enough reason why you're going to want to stick with all the hard work that's going to be required to get there. So listen, if you're turning in, let me know hello in the comments. I can't wait to say hello to you. I'm so glad that you tuned in. If you're watching the replay, let me know by typing in the word replay. It always delights my heart to know that you came in and watched afterwards, even if you couldn't join me live. So I want to know in the comments, as you're coming in, I want to know in the comments, what is a goal of yours? And then I'm going to walk you through an exercise, okay? So what's a goal of yours? So oftentimes, we'll make goals. I make goals a lot. I love making goals. And I have lots of big goals. And, so we might have a goal of losing 30 pounds, or maybe we have a goal of conquering cravings, or maybe we have a goal of, I just want to eat healthier, or, we have all these goals that we make. And if we're not careful and we don't fuel our goals correctly, then what will happen is that we will fall flat. So here's what it does, okay? Is that you have a goal, okay, but then you have a reality, right? So you have a goal of losing 30 pounds, but the reality is you're 30 pounds overweight, right? So you have a gap between. And the way we get over there is through action, right? We have to take daily action that's going to help to bridge the gap. Okay. And guess what? We don't have to jump over. We can take small steps. And I'm going to talk about that in our upcoming Conquer Your Cravings video series. But we have this gap. And so if we're not careful and we go and try to just jump off the cliff, or we just try to start reaching our goals by, eating less calories, or going to the gym, or, clearing out the pantry, or whatever, those are great action steps. However, what's going to happen is that eventually it's going to get kind of hard. The excitement's going to wear off, and you're going to be like, what am I doing here, right? So today, I want to walk you through an exercise to create some intention that's going to help fuel you to get to the other side, to where your goal is reached. That's what we want to do, right? We want to reach our goal. But if our goal is boring and just doesn't have any reason why we're really doing it, then it's going to fall flat, and so will we. And so I want to help you prevent that. Before we dive into conquering cravings and getting healthy, we need to understand why we are doing it in the first place. And this is vitally important that you do this exercise. So I'm going to give you an exercise. I'm going to show you a piece of paper. I'm going to, if you have a piece of paper around, maybe jot some notes, because there's not a lot we have to take, but I'm going to have you do an exercise after this video. You can even do it along with me if you want to, but really having some quiet time after is really going to be ideal. So I'm going to come in here and see what some of your goals are. Okay. Hello. Okay. Moving forward as a new member. Wonderful. Yay. My goal, Deborah says, is to have a closer relationship with Jesus. Okay. Goal to keep moving to get rid of osteoarthritis pain. Okay. So I love these. And those are actually a lot, a little bit deeper than sometimes some of the superficial goals that we sometimes initially start out with, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the goal of either losing weight, or, maybe your goal is conquering cravings, right? And so what we want to do is we want to create a sheet that kind of looks like this. And so you want to have the word goal up at the top, and then an underline. And then I want you to come over here, and I want you to write why several times. And you don't have to write 4. You can write 3, 4, 5, 7. I'm going to tell you, don't think you just have to go through 4 whys. We're going to keep moving through this. And then over here is my word, and I'm going to talk to you about what that is. So you have a goal. Maybe it's to lose weight, lose 30 pounds. Let's just start with that. And so when I work with clients one-on-one and I'm on the phone with them and I'm having conversation with them and I'm like, one of the first things I ask them, what's going on? What's going on with your health? What would you like to improve? Why are you even reaching out to me? And so usually they'll say, well, I want to lose weight, or I have this, goal. I have, heart disease, or I have diabetes, or some of the other ailments that go on. And I just want to reverse those. Okay, awesome. So tell me, why is that important to you? Okay, that's your first why. Why is that important to you? So usually they'll pause and be like, well, I just want to feel better. And I want to feel like better in my clothes. I want to fit into my clothes. And, I feel yucky all the time, and I just don't want to feel like this anymore. All right, good. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, so why do you want to, why is that important to you? Why do you want to feel better fit better in your clothes? Why do you want to feel better? Why do you want to feel not yucky? Well, I want to fit better in my clothes because I just want to be beautiful again. I want to be attractive to my husband. I want to be able to have confidence when we go out. I don't want to be so self-conscious all the time. And really, I want to have more energy to do the things that I want to do. Oh, okay. I think we're getting somewhere. All right. Do you see where we're going? Okay. So now we're like on our second why, right? But we're not quite there yet. So we're going to ask why again. So why is energy important to you? What would that give you? What would more energy make possible for you? What would it make possible for you? And then what about feeling confident and feeling attractive for your spouse? Like, what would that do for you? Why is that important to you? And then why is feeling beautiful again important? So what happens here at this point is that usually in the conversation, this is the point where we start getting to the root of our why. We're not there yet, but we're starting to get there. This is usually the point where in a conversation with somebody that the tears begin to flow. And it's the place in the conversation where they've never considered why getting healthy or losing weight or conquering cravings or ditching disease or whatever their goals may be is important. They've never really gotten to the root of their why. And so we kind of spin our wheels just trying to fix this outward thing that we experience. Meanwhile, we have an inward issue going on. And so it's the inward pain that's driving this outward behavior of trying to get healthy. But the problem is if we don't come to the root and understand our why, then these outward goals that we're trying to make, they're just going to fall flat. And we really need to connect the two. And that's what intention is going to do. So here we are, and we're at that place where we've gotten to some of the root of the why. But we're going to take it one step further. Oftentimes at this point in the game, what will more energy do? What will feeling beautiful do? It's usually we're going to be able to live out our purpose, to fulfill our purpose, to serve and be with the ones that we love. We're going to be able to hike. We're going to be able to bike. We're going to be able to run around in the front yard with our children or our grandchildren. We're going to be able to travel. I'm going to have the ability, the physical ability to go and do mission work or volunteer work, or I'm going to be able to actually feel amazing so that I can go and just be with my friends. I mean, there's so many things that we miss out on when we are covered with physical burdens that are holding us back from living the life that God has called us to live. So usually the fourth why, sometimes the fifth why, is where the true reason why we're trying to get out from under these burdens that we're under of excess weight and cravings and addictions to food and all of these things that we are struggling with, that we're diseased with, that we're in pain, low energy, unable to fulfill the true work that God has for us. This is where we are getting to the root. And then I'm then here's the last why. You ready? Why is that important to you? Why is it important for you to hike and bike and run and play with your children and your grandchildren? Why is it important that you're here from them, not only now, but decades from now? Why is it important that you're going to be able to go and do the good work that God has for you to do with healthy hands and feet? Why is that important to you? What is it going to give you? Like it's a nice thing to do, a nice thing to say, nice thing to think about, but why is that important to you? And here's where it gets good, is we really get to the place of why this even matters. And oftentimes when I get to the root, do you know what the root really is of why we want to lose weight, why we want more energy, why we want to ditch disease, why we want to be pain-free? It's because we want more joy in our life. We want more peace in our life. We want more life. We want to radiate health. We want to have all of these things because right now in this moment, remember what I said, you got reality and you got reaching your goal and there's a gap in between. The realisms is the conflict within our soul is that we understand the gap and we're so desperate to get there. But if all we say is my goal is to lose weight, conquer cravings and, get over this food addiction, great. But it's as you take these action steps, that goal is not going to fuel you. What will fuel you is not only the power of God, and we're going to be talking about that in day 1 of Conquer Your Cravings, but we're also going to need a deep-rooted why before we even start this journey. That's why it's so vitally important that I want you to do this exercise before we get to starting to conquer your cravings on Monday, the April 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Starts all here live where you are watching. It's going to be here on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Okay. So listen, so you're going to do this exercise and you're going to ask why and okay, why is this important? And why is this important? And you're going to wrestle. And this is not going to be easy for some. Okay. Because you've been so focused on this outward thing going on, losing the weight, losing the disease, but there's so much internal stuff that we have to get to the root of to really understand our why. And then from here, what I want you to do is like that last why is really your intention. Okay. Is your intention to have more beauty in your life? Is your intention to radiate? Is your intention to have more joy? Is your intention to is it your intention to have more peace? Like, what is it when you come down to it, to the bottom? What is it for you? And then from there, this is the last part over here. Okay, so the last why circled here in red is going to be your intention. This is going to be your big why. Okay, and it can be as short or as long as you want it to be, right? And so then I want you to take that intention and I want you to write it into one word. Okay, one word, because when we don't feel like eating an apple, instead we want a cookie, or when we don't really feel like making a salad, it'd be much easier to go and get some fast food. Or when we are just like, I just don't want to cook, and here we go again, we're either going to skip dinner or eat something we shouldn't be eating. Like, we don't really want to menu plan and sit down and do the work, but it's going to need to happen. We don't really want to exercise, but listen, if we're just like, well, I'm trying to lose 30 pounds, well, of course I don't want to exercise because I'm maybe not be seeing some movement on the scale just yet. And so like now it's just kind of boring and it's flat and it's just like, ugh, right? But if we have a real reason why we're getting on the treadmill, why we're eating an apple instead of a cookie, why we're going to fix a salad instead of going to the fast food, why we're going to choose to sleep more rather than stay up and watch television, when we are given these choices, because every single day we are faced with hundreds of choices that we make, and much of our choices are driven by habits. And we're going to talk about habits on day 3 of the Conquer Your Cravings video series, and breaking bad habits and establishing new ones. But what you need to understand is that like, we need to be fueled by something else. Something else has to drive us from the inside, because the outside reasons are going to fall flat and we will lose steam. And this is what I don't want you to do, because I want for 2020 to be the year that you're like, my health has transformed forever. My health will never, who I was is no longer the case. I am a new creation, body, mind, and spirit. And I want 2020 to be your healthiest year ever. And it just gets better from here. I didn't once I got healthy, I didn't stop there. I keep improving body, mind, and spirit. every year. I'm constantly improving. And my hope and my goal is that like I am becoming more like Christ and I'm radiating his glory to all around, and I'm going and doing and being all who he created me to be, not only now, but when I'm 80 years old and I'm on the mission field still, Lord willing. And this is what I want for you. But if you have outside goals that are shallow, they're going to fall flat and you will not make it there. So understand why you're doing this. Understand why you're trying to conquer cravings. Understand why you're trying to eat healthy. Understand why you're doing the thing. Because then we're going to have some fuel to help us, propel us through this next week as we seek to learn to conquer our cravings, and then beyond as well, as we take faithful step after faithful step to transform our life and our health. Why? For God's glory. Amen? And we're going to trust that he's going to help us to get to that place where we are free from excess weight, from disease, from low energy, from all of the things, the food bondage, the things that are holding us back from living the life that he's called us to live. And you, dear one, are going to get there. So I want you to trust me. I want you to do this exercise. I want you to create your page like this. And after this video is over, just take 5 minutes. It doesn't take really long. It's going to take some thought. It doesn't take long. And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to come back to this video. And I want you to tell me what your word is, okay? When you find out what your word is, because I want to know. It's so amazing to me. It's always different. And, there's themes and, some people kind of trend along one word, but then there's some incredible words that can come out of this as well. And then your word, when you share it, is going to inspire other people as well. And I love that. So definitely come and share. Put it in the comments. Let me know what your word is. And now if you're on here live, obviously, and you know your word because you've done this work before, then definitely tell me. But I want to know what it is. So the question is, what is an outside goal considered? So an outside goal would be considered something that we're trying to do, okay, or solve. Okay, so it's, finding out what your intention is you have to start with your goals. So a lot of times it's like what you want to do or what you're trying to do, or, the things in your head that if I could just lose weight, right? So then you're like, by golly, I'm going to make a goal to lose some weight and I'm going to write that down. Or maybe your goal is to go to the gym, or maybe your goal is to, we can have other goals in our life, right? So maybe we have goals of paying off debt. Maybe we have goals of organizing our house or decluttering our house. Maybe we set these goals of finance goals, life goals, health goals, home goals, marriage goals, parent goals, right? We set all these goals. And so the goals that I've succeeded at the most in my own life are the ones that I had a really big why behind. Like, why is this even important to me? Because it's like when you have an outward goal, when I say outward, so when you have a goal of getting out of debt, that you can be really excited about that in the beginning, right? You have all this energy and this motivation and you're just going to do this thing. But when you're like month 3, month 9, year 7, and you're still trying to conquer debt, what happens is that if you don't have a really big why, then when you have a choice to spend $7 on this fast food or go home and cook a $2 meal instead, it's going to drive your why. You're going to understand that $5 savings is vitally important and builds up over time to the success to get you to where you really want to be, which is financial freedom. Same thing with our health. It's like when we have just an outside goal that I want to get rid of pain, or if I want to get rid of weight, or if I want to get rid of diabetes, or I want to get rid of this, or I just want more energy. For me, I was fueled because I was exhausted all the time. I struggled with anxiety and infertility and acne and asthma and allergies and all of these things that I suffered with before I got my act together and cried out to God and he began to show me the way to get healthy. Then what happens is if I'm just I just want more energy, it's going to be work. I'm going to have to expend energy in order to actually get more energy, and I'm going to have to do some work. I'm going to have to do some things, and it's not going to be easy. And so what's going to fuel me when I have to make choices is going to be my intention. And here's what I want you to do as well. As you are after you come up with your why, right? So I want you to tell me here, right? You're going to have your word. I'm going to encourage you to write your word everywhere. It's like, write it on the refrigerator, take some lipstick and write it on the mirror in your bathroom, write the word across, meditate on it, write it, put it on your pantry, above your sink, in your kitchen, in your Bible. Like, what we don't want to do is lose sight of it. So maybe you just need to rotate it around a little bit, but write it down, because this is like, when you fall off track, one of the first things I ask my clients when I work one-on-one with them and they fall off track, one of the first things I make them do is I make them reconnect with their why. Because we are going to have to continuously reconnect with our why. We can't just say it once and think that it's just going to be it. Like, we can't just write it on the piece of paper and say, okay, we're done. No, we need to constantly be reminding ourselves of why we're doing this. And then from there, when you fall off track, maybe it's next week, next month, next year, whatever, and you need to coming back to your intention first is of utmost importance. And so that's going to help to kind of connect you back to your why. And it's going to quickly trigger why you're even doing this, so that as you begin to take those faithful steps back to get on the path, you'll be able to much more easily do so. All right. So Deborah says, one word is hard. I know. And so you're allowed a short sentence if you want to. There's really no hard rules here. What I love to do is kind of create a theme for the year and create a theme for the year. And so I kind of, I give my year kind of a title, and it's usually just one word for me. Sometimes it's two words together. And actually, my current theme, it's health related, but it's fully encompasses all of my life as well. But it's be the light. And so I have lots of goals this year, and God's given me grand visions for where things will be, heading and what have you. And so, one of the things that I really understood was my why was because I needed to be the light. And so that's kind of my theme. And so it's driving a lot of my actions and things like that. Now, being the light can still be directed at my health, right? So I can still I'm to be the light to you. I'm to radiate health to you. So I have to take care of this temple. And so it drives me. So being the light drives me to take care of my temple as a representative of God's health and healing to y'all. Okay. And so being the light is important to me. And so that was my theme. But I've got other themes as well. I've had radiate. I've had joy. And other words as well that have really helped to drive me to accomplish the things that I've been wanting to do and needing to do, right? We need to release these physical burdens that are holding us back, because we're not fulfilling our full purpose when we have this. So, all right. So I'm going to trust that you're going to get this exercise done. And if you have some questions, ask them in the comments. Like, if you're still not crystal clear, because this might be new to you, and that's okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be watching this over the next couple of days, and I'm going to be coming in answering questions. I'm going to be giving you some kudos for sharing your word with me, or your phrase if you need to have a phrase, Deborah or anybody else. And listen, we're going to be diving in on Monday on April 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern here. Be sure to come to wherever you're watching this. Be sure to tune in there. So it's going to be in the Healthy Free Life Community Facebook group. We're going to be on my Healthy Free Life with Katrina Sequenzia business page on Facebook. We're going to be on YouTube. And yes, we're going to be on Instagram live as well. So tune in on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here live with video 1 of the Conquer Your Cravings video series. And we are going to be taking a body, mind, spirit approach to not only just conquering cravings, that's just the beginning. Really what we're going to be doing is we're going to be also learning how to jumpstart our health so we can remove these physical burdens, we can slim down, and we can be freed up to go do what we're supposed to be doing, what we want to be doing, what we're freed up to live the life that we want to live and the life that we're called to live. And so we start that journey on Monday, and I will be here Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern every day here in the group. And then I will be also back live on Friday night, the 1st, and Sunday night, the 3rd. I will be in the group answering your questions. So, any questions that come up during the live, I'll be answering them then. Also answer all your burning food and health questions here for you. I really want to help support you as well. And what I'm super excited is that Monday, with the beginning of the video series, it kicks off the opening to the Healthy Free Life Academy, which is my online membership that helps you to truly walk through the entire path to get healthy and free, finally and for good. I can't wait to share more about that with you as well. All right. It has been a delight to be here with you. I can't wait to be back here with you next time. I will be here tomorrow, back here in all these places that you see at 12 p.m. Eastern for my daily dose of vitamin K, which is just providing you some encouragement before we kick off and get started on Monday. Until next time, bye for now.